In this session today, I'll be discussing Plecoptera. So, these Plecopteran insects are commonly called as stone flies. Uh, Approximately around 2,100 species have been described so far from the world, of which around 146 species have been reported or described so far from India. If we see the distribution of Indian species, they are mainly restricted to Himalayan belts and the hilly areas of southern India. If we see the order characters of these insects, they are mostly medium sized, some are small, somewhat dorsally flat body, and soft bodied insects. Coming to the head is prognathous type with long setaceous antenna, prominent compound eye, and usually 3 ocelli is present. Sometimes they have 2 ocelli also in some species. Coming to the mouth parts, the mouth parts are weak or reduced. Basically, it is chewing type mouth parts, and the mandibles are normal or vestigial. Coming to thorax is broadly attached with head. It is the prothorax is large, and it is basically primitive type, which means the thoracic segments are very segmentation is very prominent. If you see the advanced insects, their thoracic segments are more compact and the segmentation is not very prominent in thorax, but here in this group the segmentation of the thorax is very prominent. Coming to the wings, the forewing is narrow and both the wings are membranous with lots of veins and cross veins, but the most important character is they have large anal fan in hind wing. Okay, this large anal fan sometimes reduced in more advanced families. Okay, and the wing venation is usually generally primitive, that is with more number of veins and cross veins, but considerable variation is seen within the order. They can hold their wing flat over the back of the abdomen at rest, and they are poor flyers. They are not very strong flyers. Coming to leg, the legs are the leg tarsi is 3 segmented, abdomen with 10 complete segment, and cerci long multi segmented. These are the cerci which are long and multi annulated. These adult flies or adult stone flies are weak flyer, and they seldom found far from the bank of stream or edges of lake, so they usually found near the water source, and they usually they take rest often well camouflaged on the vegetation, rocks and logs. And some species are nocturnal, and these nocturnal species are usually found to hide under the cracks and crevices among vegetations during day. And they although many stonefly species do not eat during adult stage, but when they eat, they feed on the lichens, algae, pollen, bark and rotten woods. Just before mating, the males usually tap their abdomen over over a substrate, and that process is called drumming. You can consider this drumming as mating dance. So mating usually occur during daylight, and they lay their eggs singly or often in batches of more than 100, and their young ones or larvae are aquatic in nature. They're called as naiads. If you see the naiad looks like the adult, only difference is it does not have the wings. They have two claws at the tip of their leg. If you compare the mayfly larvae, mayfly naiad have one claw. They have long antenna, elongated ocelli, finger-like tracheal gills alongside the thorax, and most species have several pairs of abdominal gills also. Primitively, they have 5 or 6 pairs of abdominal gills. And the metamorphosis is simple type. And these naiads often found under the stones, in streams, or along the lake shores, and they spend a pretty long time as naiads, sometimes a year, and undergo several molting. They usually feed on plants, so they are usually phytophagous, but some are predaceous or omnivorous too, and they not usually found in polluted water. So that's all for this order.